Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who figure review. In today's Doctor Who figure review, I'll be taking a look at the Third Doctor and Sea Devil from the Sea Devils, part of the Forbidden Planet exclusive line back in 2009, released in October. Now this was released alongside the Third Doctor and Death to the Daleks Dalek, and I think a couple of weeks later we saw the release of the Third Doctor and Giant Maggots. Now, so that's kind of incredible. Within the space of a month we had 3 variants of the Third Doctor, which was incredible. An 11-year-old me was incredibly happy because, the Third Doctor is my favourite Doctor. So these sort of original Third Doctor figures mean so much to me, and the Sea Devils is my favourite Doctor Who story of all time. This is probably my favourite Forbidden Planet exclusive set because of the whole sort of meaning, what the Sea Devils means to me as a story, and having, 2 characters from that story just means an awful lot to me. And I recently did watch the Sea Devils, and I think that's probably what's inspired this review, and Big Chief have got their Third Doctor figure from the Sea Devils being released very soon, and there will be a review of that. So I thought I'd take a look at Character Options' version of that Third Doctor and Sea Devil. So the way this video is going to work is I'm going to take a look at what packaging I have of this set, and then I will do the articulation in detail, and I will compare the Sea Devil to the Wave 1 Sea Devil from 2008. So that's the way this video is going to work. So without further ado, let's look at, taking a look at the packaging, what bits I have left, because this is quite an old figure set now. We're talking 2009, so it's nice to have a few little relics of the packaging. And this packaging is incredibly nostalgic for me. I just love it. So this packaging motif was used right from the beginning of the classic line, right up until 2011, when it was sort of phased out with the Face of Evil Leela, when it introduced the more diamond logo sort of packaging motif. So we take a look at this packaging now with a little name card. So we've got an image of the Sea Devil, the Third Doctor, and the Minefield. I really did like that little touch of seeing the actual characters from the story. I really do like that little addition. We've got the year of the story, 1972, the Third Doctor with a nice little Gallifreyan text motif behind it, the Third Doctor dates, and the Sea Devil from the Sea Devils. Now this was really good for, young fans getting into classic Doctor Who, because you got to learn the dates of the Doctor if you didn't learn it off the DVDs, and what year that story was from. So I thought that was a really good little touch for fans just getting into classic Doctor Who. Taking a look at the backing card, so we've got the Doctor Who logo there, posable action figures and a nice sort of fiery cosmos background. And taking a look at the back of the figure, so we've got an enlarged image of the Third Doctor, same in the name card, so we've got a little bio of the Third Doctor so you could learn about the character. Then we've got a little bio on the Sea Devils there, so do feel free to pause if you want to have a little read, and then the Sea Devil there, and again the year of the story. And then we have the Doctor's dates there, which is a really nice little touch there, and a load of legal stuff there, and a nice little holographic sticker. Right, so the first figure I'm going to be taking a look at is the Third Doctor, the man himself. Now this, to me, is probably the definitive Third Doctor figure. This is how I imagine the Third Doctor to be, with a sort of midnight blue velvet jacket and the Inverness cape with the red lining. To me, it just seems like the definitive look for the Third Doctor. So this is probably my favourite Third Doctor figure Character Options have done, just because it's just so iconic for me. So let's take a look at the articulation, and then we'll go on to the detail for this figure. So take a look at the articulation for the Third Doctor. The head can move side to side. The arms can do a full 360 once the cloak is removed. We have 360 degree turn at the bicep, bend at the elbow, 360 degree turn at the wrist. We do have waist articulation, but it is very hindered by the jacket, and the legs can kick out and move to the side, but again is hindered slightly by the jacket. We have 360 degree turn at the thigh and bend at the knee. So if we take a look at the detail for this Third Doctor figure, so we start off with the hair. Now the hair definitely does have that shocking white sort of bouffant. Often the Third Doctor is described with shocking white hair in the Target novelizations, and this definitely does capture that. But we do have a slight grey wash over it to really highlight the sort of curling detail and give it a sort of a different sort of textures, to make it seem very realistic with the different hair strands and how it's all sort of clumped together. It's just done really well. So I really do like the paint taps on this, because it definitely does that sort of shocking vibrant white, and you see sort of the different curling detail and the sort of sideburns there. It's just done magnificently, and I think that Character Options nailed the Third Doctor's hair right from day one, really, back in 2009. So I really do like the sculpting detail on the Third Doctor's hair. It's just magnificent. It really does capture Pertwee's bouffant. And if we move on to the actual face sculpt, again, really good likeness to the Third Doctor. You could say that the paint apps can be a little bit heavy in places, but you can see sort of the bags under the eyes there the slight sort of definition of the jawline there with the line, you know, the slight lines on the face to capture sort of the cragginess of Jon's face is done really well. Yeah, obviously if the paint ups were a little bit thinner, you probably could see more of the detail, because I do have one of the prototype Third Doctor figures, and you can see the amount of detail what is on the face sculpt's character option 2 is astonishing. But I definitely do think that you can see the detailing on the Third Doctor itself. So yeah, it's wonderful. So taking a look at the costume for the Third Doctor, please take a look at the Inverness cloak first, and then I'll do the actual Third Doctor costume underneath. Now the Inverness cloak is this very rigid PVC. It's not very flexible, so it makes it very difficult if you want to put the cloak on, because it's as you can see, it doesn't really have much give. It just goes straight back into its position, so it is very stiff. So moving to the detail of the cloak, we've got a nice sort of creasing detail there where the cloak naturally falls, but we have a nice sort of toggle clover design there where the cloak would fasten together, which is great. And obviously you can see the little fastening there on the other side. It doesn't have that, so that's a really nice little attention to detail. Again, we've got the creasing detail to show where the cloak naturally falls, and then we have the natural sort of winged look with it sort of pinned back to show the red lining, which is really gorgeous, and it really does stand out on the actual figure. As you can see, it really does make the figure pop by having that with the sort of red lining sort of striking out, which is done really well. Again, we've got the great sort of creasing detail, and again we've got the sort of seam of the cloak there and the sort of back there of the cloak, which is done really well. I really do like this, and it's sort of a shame that character options stopped giving the Third Doctor his sort of Inverness cloak, really, because I think that it would benefit certain figures, like the Invasion of the Dinosaurs figure I would have loved to have seen, and the Green Death figure to have that sort of cloak as well. But I think you can use the Talons of Weng-Chiang Fourth Doctor cloak for that, which I think doubles up well for the Green Death Third Doctor cloak. But yeah, it's a really nice little addition to have, and it just completes the figure. So if we want to remove the cloak, you just have to do this like so. As you can see the very vibrant red lining. It would have been nice if the Third Doctor from the Three Doctors had his cloak actually with a sort of black cloak with the blue lining. That would have been wonderful. So there we have the cloak removed, this very sort of solid bit of PVC really. But yeah, it's a really nice little addition to have, and it completes the Third Doctor look. So we're bringing the Third Doctor now, so we can take a look at the detailing of the costume underneath the jacket. But we take a look at the shirt now. So we've got the cravat detail there, which is done very well with a nice folding and creasing detail to show where it naturally falls to give it that lifelike effect. And we do have the button detail of the shirt and the frills ever so slightly poking out, which is very nice little attention to detail. But the Third Doctor's shirt in the Sea Devils is a very pale blue. I can see why it's often perceived as white, because in some lights it does look white, and others it does look like a very pale blue. But yeah, I'm fine with it being a white shirt, because it's only a little minor thing really, and it sort of does double up as a sort of Season 7 Third Doctor, because this is essentially the Season 7 look for the Third Doctor. So moving on to the Third Doctor's trademark velvet jackets. Now this is very interesting. I feel like this is probably one of the best ways character options have managed to sort of replicate velvet on a figure. So what they've done is basically painted the whole jacket blue, and then they've sort of painted sort of black over it to give it sort of a different texturing, because velvet is very hard to capture. But as you can see, they've really captured the way velvet naturally is, with sort of a different texturing, but how the light catches it. You see sort of the blue, that sort of midnight blue, which I really do love, because it's a very nice royal blue colour, and that sort of black sort of detailing over it really does help sort of accentuate sort of the detailing, especially on the creases. It's done really well. You can see that character options did a marvellous job capturing that sort of velvet look to the Third Doctor's jacket. And again, we have the great sort of seaming detail where the jacket would be all sewn together, and then we have the little buttons on the jacket and the white shirt frills poking out. Again, great little detailing on the shirt with a sort of section of the frills there. It's just done very well. Now we do have this white triangle. You might be wondering, oh, is it the Third Doctor's sandwich? Because he does eat a few sandwiches in the Sea Devils. It is the Third Doctor's handkerchief. We see the Third Doctor use the handkerchief when he blindfolds himself to play golf at Trenchard's little prison. And we see him tuck it back into his jacket pocket. So that is to give the illusion of the handkerchief sticking out of the Third Doctor's jacket pocket. So it is accurate to the Sea Devils, despite what people say. It is an accurate little thing, because he does have a little white handkerchief in the story. And then if we just remove the arm to the side, you get the seams of the jacket and the pocket sculpting there. But the jacket sculpt is a little bit inaccurate because the Third Doctor collar should be rounded. As you can see, this uses the Carnival of Monsters jacket sculpt, which is basically every Third Doctor figure sculpt, because it shouldn't have two lapels. It should just be a round necked lapel, very much like the First Doctor jacket. It should be very much like that. But you know, I'm not complaining because it's just great to have this version of the Third Doctor. Again, we've got the buttons on the jacket. The trousers are this great sort of black colour there. I've got the seams of the trousers and the creasing where the trousers naturally fall over John's Chelsea boots. And then the shoes are a nice gloss black finish, which really do pop against the sort of midnight blue of the jacket. And again, we do have the Third Doctor's little ring detail, which is a very nice little touch for the figure there. Yeah, really do like that. Really nice little attention to detail. The Third Doctor does come with his trusty sonic screwdriver, which he does use a fair bit in the Sea Devil, especially when he's trying to get the Sea Devil away from him and Jo in the minefield, and sort of trying to detect the little minefields. It's just done very well with the sort of trademark yellow banner there. You know, for the scale of it, I think Character Options have done a marvellous job. And again, we can see the slight little detailing of John's hands there with the sort of creasing on the thumb, which is a really nice little attention to detail actually. So yeah, very nice detailing for the Third Doctor, and I do love this Third Doctor figure. It's just magnificent, especially the way they've captured the velvet jacket look. To the final figure within this set, which is of course the Sea Devil. Yeah, that's my terrible Sea Devil impression. Apologies to any Sea Devils watching. So yeah, let's take a look at the articulation, and then we'll do the detail for this and then compare it to the Wave 1 classic figure. So taking a look at the articulation of the Sea Devil. So the head can do a full 360-degree turn. The arms can lift up, but it's hindered by the cloth, and the arms are ball jointed, so you can get a few more dynamic poses. We do have a bend at the elbow, 360-degree turn at the wrists, and the waist can move ever so slightly, but is hindered by the netting again. The legs are ball jointed, so they can go out to the side and kick out forward. We do a 360-degree turn at the thigh, bend at the knee, and the feet can do a full 360-degree turn, and they can move, they can pivot, which is very nice. So you can sort of make it look like they're swimming, which is very cool. So taking a look at the detail for the Sea Devil, that kind of rhymes, doesn't it? But the paint apps for the Sea Devil, I think, are one of my favourites, because I feel like they've really mixed, you know, sort of the dark greens and the lighter green and the browns together to really give it sort of a different texture to the skin, especially there. You can see on the sort of fins there with the sort of section detail, the various sort of greens and browns, and we've got sort of a slight gloss finish to it to sort of give it that sort of amphibious look. That slight gloss finish really does accentuate some of the detailing there with the lines, and we've got the little beak of the Sea Devil, the great sort of vibrant blue eyes of the Sea Devil. It's just done really well. I really do love the detail. I feel like the Sea Devil, in terms of figure, is one of the most underrated figures, because I think that it's just incredibly well detailed. And this one, this Sea Devil figure for me often was sort of the leader of the Sea Devils, and this is sort of how I perceive it, because it's just a very nice sort of detail on the Sea Devil. If we take a look at the back, again you've got the nice sort of detailing of the skin, the various sort of sectioning, the spine of the Sea Devil. You know, Character Options really did go above and beyond to create this figure, you know, because it's a shame that it's sort of spoilt by the sort of netting in a way, because just the way how detailed this figure is underneath, because this Sea Devil goes to the gym, because he's got pecs, not pecs from Paradise Towers, but he goes to the gym, does the Sea Devil, because it's just magnificent. And of course we do have a little trademark sort of netting of the Sea Devil, which is fantastic. The sort of pale white, it's looking a little bit tatty, but you know, it's quite an old figure now. We do have the little Sea Devil belt to sort of hold the netting together there, and to put his gun in, which I'll show when I get onto the accessories, and that just is clipped onto the back of the figure like so. But you know, you can see how well detailed the Sea Devil is with sort of a different texturing there to give that sort of scale look. It's just done magnificent. The different paint apps, you know, with different little veins there, as you can see, it really well done to Character Options, because this is just magnificent. And obviously we've got the little duck feet there, which is really cool. I love it. I think that they've really captured it with sort of different texturing to really highlight the different various details you'd get on the Sea Devil, which I think is just really stunning. Sorry, Mr. Sea Devil, there you go. But yeah, it's really wonderful, the creasing detail on the back of the legs. Oh, it's just fantastic, and I feel like this has definitely rekindled my love for the Sea Devil figure, because I think that they are just some of the best figures Character Options have done, because you can just see the detailing is just astonishing, and I think Character Options did a marvellous job with that. I think, you know, the various different paint apps as well. I just love it. I love the Sea Devil figure. So let's compare this Sea Devil figure to the Wave 1 classic figure of the Sea Devil release. So moving on to the comparison of the Sea Devil. So this is the Wave 1 2008 Sea Devil figure, and then this is the Third Doctor 2009 version of the Sea Devil. For me, I feel like the Third Doctor one just seems a bit more accurate. I feel like they've just captured what the Sea Devils look more like in the story, with a sort of different texturing on there. As you can see the various differencing on it with the way it's presented, but I do feel like this is a little bit quite accurate in the sense that some of the masks did have slightly more of a brown finish to them. Now this Sea Devil does come, the Wave 1 Sea Devil does come with the gold disc gun, which I think is inaccurate. I mean, maybe one Sea Devil did have the gold gun, but for majority I could only spot the sort of traditional silver heat ray disc gun. You can see the various detailing there. And the differences, again, you can see how much effort Character Options put on to do this Sea Devil figure. It's just astonishing there. You can see the differences there, but yeah, you can definitely see which is the Wave 1 Sea Devil and which is the Third Doctor one there, and they do look very good together. So if I just get my little Sea Devil army, and I'll show you. And there we have my little army of Sea Devils, and I have to say that he definitely does look like the leader of the Sea Devils, the one in the Third Doctor twin pack. So yeah, it's very nice to have that. So taking a look at the accessory for the Sea Devil, he comes with his little heat ray disc, which is done very well. We've got the little central point there, and then a sort of black ring around it to really highlight the detailing of the disc, and that just slots onto his hand like so. It just clips on very nicely, and the heat ray gun does slot into the belt like so, like in the little pouch. So it's a great way for you not to lose your little Sea Devil heat ray. So that concludes my review of the Third Doctor and Sea Devil twin pack from the Forbidden Planet exclusive line from 2009. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I absolutely love this set. I think that it's probably my favourite Forbidden Planet exclusive set they did, because the Sea Devil is a very personal story to me, and of course it's my favourite Doctor Who story. So to have you know, two figures from my favourite story, well, three figures technically, but to have a set dedicated to my favourite Doctor Who stories is magnificent. Like I said, this Third Doctor figure for me is just the definitive Third Doctor. This is how I imagine the Third Doctor, with a sort of blue velvet jacket and the black and red Inverness cloak. It's just magnificent. I really do love it, and the Sea Devil is a really nice little variant of the 2008 one released back in 2008, like I said. But I feel like this is a little bit more accurate with the more accurate gun. It just seems to be more sort of Sea Devil look to me. It does seem more very striking as how the Sea Devils were in the story. And it does look great when you've got a few Sea Devils. It makes like a nice little army of Sea Devils. So I really do love this set. It's one of my favourites. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you haven't got this set, then I definitely do recommend tracking it down, because like I said, the Third Doctor, for me it's a must get, because it's a great Third Doctor variant. But yeah, if you can get it for a good price, I definitely do recommend it, because it is a stunning set of figures. And I'll see you next time. As for what my next figure review will be, I don't know. It could be the Dapol TARDIS, it could be anything. I might do like a little poll on the YouTube community thing, so you can vote for the next Doctor Who figure review that I do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this review. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do give it a like and subscribe for more Doctor Who related figure content, and I'll leave a link in the description below to my Doctor Who figure review playlist, so you can check out any other Doctor Who figure content that I've done. And I'll see you next time, whatever that video will be. So thank you very much, and